Okay, this is my little update. I decided to run the buggy today in an off-road area that I run most of my cars. It's not extremely bumpy, but at the speed that I was trying to run it, which was normally half to full throttle, proved to be pretty bumpy for it. I've decided the suspension's actually a little too stiff for this thing, and I think I'm going to end up trying to run lighter springs and some lighter oil or shock fluid later. I'm not too worried about this moment per se, but it causes it to buck a lot and try to go butt overhead a lot. But I did break a couple things, so I was going to show that. If you buy one of these, and it's the buggy version where you'll have a tough time tucking the antenna underneath, just go out and buy a better antenna tube. One of the brand name ones are from, well, just about any of them. The stock antenna tubes just aren't flexible enough to deal with a rollover. I left the stock one, or the one I put on it, probably 2 to 3 inches longer than necessary to keep the antenna covered and protected. And I actually snapped it off a couple times. It always happened at the base, right where it went into the receiver, holder, case, whatever they want to call it. Unless you tuck it under the body, just go buy a better one. It's gonna drive you insane. The other thing I broke was the rear wing mount. I actually snapped off part of the nubbin. It wasn't the whole thing. I don't know whether or not it's going to be visible to you that the shape is wrong. I tried zooming in on it, just a minute ago on it. This is my second attempt at this video, but it didn't seem to show up very good. But it snapped the front face off of it, pretty much from the eyelet straight up and then straight forward. I'm guessing I did it on a tumble. At first I thought I just lost a pin, but I actually decided to stop and investigate when the antenna tube snapped again. And what I'm figuring I'm going to do is I'm going to shave it down to where the surface is flat, and then I'm probably going to use the post nubbin thing, I don't know what the proper word is, for a battery hold down on a Traxxas vehicle. They use them on the Slash, the Rustler, Stampede, Bandit, yada 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 yada. And all they are is a little metal nubbin with threads on one end. So I'll be able to poke it through and put a nut on the other side. They should be the same diameter from the looks of it, and they might be a little bit taller, but I'll put a washer underneath of it or something. I'm sure I can come up with a felt washer or a nylon washer to take up the slack so the wing isn't just flopping around. Frankly, that's about it. About the only other thing I've noted today is that after my run, the wheel wobble is actually getting worse. It's actually to the point that I think I'm going to take it apart here in a minute and investigate. I'm kind of wondering if it might be the wheel hexes, because when I put these wheels on here, I noticed that instead of running a shim or something else to take up the slack, they left I don't know what to really call it, but extra material on the wheel hex so that it would, in theory, push against the bearing in a race and take up the slack, which I don't like, but I'm kind of wondering if those are trying to go flat now or something, because normally when somebody tries something with this design or that type of design, it normally rubs on the shield of the bearing, and neither one of them normally last long. I could be wrong, and it could just be the bearings are junk. But I should have more information on that here in a while, or soon at least. But for now, I'm going to upload this video. And I'm either going to take this apart or I'm going to take a nap. I don't know which. I know I need to charge the battery if I'm going to run it again, but yep.